Hi, welcome to WorkZest. For part 4 of my series about sense-making and user-centered leadership, I want to start with a somewhat controversial claim. Children and adults learn in the same ways. Of course, every individual learner is somewhat different. That's what sense-making is all about. We all have our own unique history that we're connecting to our learning that shapes how we make sense of the new information that we're getting. But sometimes adult learning theory makes a big deal about being truly different when they say that people need to be able to practice the skills that they're learning or connect it to their life immediately afterwards. But it turns out that that's true for children too. All of the research in both of these areas is finding the same kind of thing, and we should look at that as reinforcing. We should see it as evidence that we're replicating the same results. We, of course, have to talk differently to these two groups. We have different amounts of background experience we have to consider, but we can learn lessons from each area that are relevant to the other. For today, I'm going to talk about something from my background as a developmental psychologist, play-based learning. This is a concept that I've always loved, and I think that we can take something from it. When we talk about sense-making, in design, what they're really talking about is not having good conversations, which is what I've been talking about, but designing your product in a way that people know how to use it without you telling them. They look at it and their previous experience gives them some idea of what to do with their software or their device. Play-based learning talks about some of the same things. You set up the environment so that children are practicing the skills you want them to practice automatically. You're helping them make sense of what to do, and this can really change the feeling of the learning because now they feel like they're in charge. You're simulating this feeling of autonomy even when you've already set it up for them to do exactly what you want them to do. We can do this too. I'll give you an example again from my own life. When I was managing some of my employees, what I wanted them to do was really practice communicating with one another and doing time management. To facilitate this, I gave them a schedule and I told them there was one essential component that had to be done, that one of them had to be responsible for it for every hour of the day, but the rest of the schedule could be flexible if they all work together. Because of this, when something needed to happen, they were immediately focused on doing the kinds of things I wanted them to do. They were thinking about time management for themselves. They were thinking about time management for other people and developing their own leadership skills. And they were working on successful team communication. Because they practiced this for something they cared about, managing their time so they could get their work done, it meant that they also had this skill, the ability to communicate, and knowing that the rest of their team cared about doing this with them when it came time to do other projects. I hope this inspired you to think about your workflows and your culture to help shape the sense-making that your employees are engaging in. And I hope that you'll also head over to my page for WorkZest on LinkedIn or Facebook and give me a follow, because next week I'm going to be talking about branding, personal branding, and how you can use that to shape the sense-making of your employees when it comes to how they fit into your team and your organization. This will be the last one in my series about sense-making and user-centered leadership, so I hope you don't want to miss it. I look forward to talking to you.